Hello, everyone. We are here on the final week of Grindhouse Massacre with an interesting matchup between Valhalla and Archon, a rather important one. And we are here on the Dead Dog Saloon with our boy Wraith, with a typical standard build that you would usually see around now. We have a 3-gen bottom side, and we do find Gambiter on our first chase here. Early tag comes through with that sloppy butcher. And this chase will be instantly brought to the main building, trying to body block the window. Bamboozle does come through, though, and we will be trying to go back to this corner map filler here. The uncloak does not happen. Pallet drop and hit through the pallet. It will be an early first down and a potential pain res coming through. We will see with one of these hooks here. Yep, gonna be going past this hook here in the corner, and this will likely be a pain res now. That will be a pain resonance on a generator. We're not sure which one. We are checking around a nice gen setup here on the bottom side of the map. Heading over to this building, we see Ruin activate on the generator as we find Nex. Swing through, expecting Nex to vault, but he does not. Nex reads Vobo's mind here. Vault onto the ground, but with no balanced landing, that will be a hit. Next, we'll be going for the trade, however. Vobo reads that and decides not to cloak for that very reason, and going to be tunneling out Gambiter here, trying to secure a early 3v1, as 3v1s with Wraith are very difficult. Gonna be going down on the shack pallet here. We do not hear footsteps for a pallet rescue, and that will be a basement hook, as we did find Fetter on the Gallows gen there. Next gets picked up likely by Nova, and Vobo should have an idea of roughly where all 4 survivors are. Ruin did get cleansed in the meantime, however, and that will be the reason that we do kick that generator, though. The full reset does come onto the Nex. They couldn't have gone far, and Vobo does find where the reset was. Gonna be going after Nova here at these TL walls, and instantly leaving the chase after losing a 50-50. We find Fetter falling off of main, going to be a little bit out of position. Vobo decides not to commit to that chase, instead trying to secure Gambiter's death here. Just looking around Shack, trying to find if anyone is rotating for a save. And we do find Fetter doing exactly that. Gonna get past Vobo here at the Shack pallet, and it looks like just body blocking will be coming through. Gambiter will not be getting saved in time, unfortunately, however, and a quick tag onto Fetter will happen. And that will be a death at 5 generators remaining, and a 3v1 shall now pursue. High progress here, falling down the hole, unfortunately, expecting Nex to fall down first. But now it looks like Nex will be trying to commit to this generator, and getting it down to 4 generators remaining, and roughly completely removing the 3-gen that was on the bottom side of the map here. Chase instantly going to be brought to main building. Vobo able to get a body block, however, and that will be Next, forcing a locker as a second generator pops, likely the Gallows one that we saw with high progress earlier. It was not, however. It was instead another bottom side generator. With Nex on the hook here, Vobo's going to be rotating to roughly where the survivor that was working on that newest gen pop would be. And we did not see anyone there. Going to be looking for some more survivors over at Gallows. Unhook does happen onto Nex. Vobo will be going right back to this hook, trying to find whoever unhooked Nex, and going to be going for that tunnel once more. We find Nex falling onto the table and will not be making anything, unfortunately. We'll see slugging happening here. Going to be trying to create a snowball for a potential 4K3, going to be going for that big win con here. As we look for some more survivors, we find Feder not able to make this filler, as a matter of fact, and now it's just Nova to prevent this snowball from truly occurring. Next gets picked up by Nova, and we do see a survivor leave the main building. That is Nova. Going to be faking the vault. Vobo waits patiently, however, and that will be a tag onto Nova. Next, likely rotating for Feder's pickup, trying to get this snowball to not, as a matter of fact, happen. And Feder's pickup does happen. We see a survivor go around this building, however, trying to bait a vault. But there was no survivor at that building. As a matter of fact, likely rotated towards Shack there. Vobo looking around the water tower, trying to see if any survivor was stealthing. All 3 survivors are injured, so the stealthing capability is not as great. We do find Feder working on this TL generator, and gonna be having Chase in this corner of the map here, stuck with this filler. And that will be a quick down onto Feder. Another pain res will be happening with Feder's hook, as it was only Gambler and Nex that had their pain reses used so far. We see high progress on this TL generator, which could likely mean that there was another survivor there during this time. Vobo heading right back towards this cactus field area, and gonna be finding Nex over in this corner of the map here, trying to swing past the rock, but unfortunately does get stuck, and the pallet drop will be happening. The unhook does happen on Feder, and now leaving the chase here, gonna be trying to prevent some form of reset happening. Oh, baiting, as a matter of fact, Next to get back on the generator, and now we have Nex on this filler. Swing through the pallet, but Nex reads Vobo perfectly here. And a hit does happen just before Nex can reach it. We still see no reset onto Feder or Nova, which Vobo does see this as progress being made on the TL generator. That was not the case, as a matter of fact, as we did not see regression from the pain res, and it was still roughly the same progress. We do find Nova, however, going to be trying to force locker, but the hit does happen just before the locker here. This will be our final pain resonance of the game here. And now going right back to where Nex was downed. Going to be trying to find either or survivor. We see Nex pre-leaving the generator and stuck in a not so great position here. We'll still be able to make this pallet, however. And that will be the pallet drop. Vobo just going to be trying to make this a 50-50, as Nex just instead holds W straight towards Shack. That will be the Shack pallet going down. Next, trying to bait a slow vault to get Vobo to stop uncloaking, but Vobo commits to the uncloak like a madman, and that will be Next hitting the second stage here. As we take this hook in the middle of the map, going straight back to the TL generator, expecting high progress on. We see the fourth piston finally in action, and we do see blood. That will be Nova getting caught in the stealth, and a quick down will happen now. Unhook onto Next comes through. Vobo now knows where both of these survivors will be. We see the general direction of where Nex is going as we chase Feder here. As the uncloak does get committed, and Feder instead holding W on that pallet. Now it is just Nex to try and save this game. Unfortunately, however, we do know where next would be. That will be the pickup onto Nova. And we know that Nova did die on the edge map. Vobo going to be looking around the edge map, as a full reset did try to come through, but Vobo does find that reset, and Nex will be found now. Going to where Feder was downed, but the pickup does not happen in time, unfortunately, likely due to Sloppy Butcher and that mangled status effect going to be slowing the pickup time. Going to be trying to double back, catch Nex off guard here. Just Nex to fight for his life on these TLs. Nex spots Vobo, swing through, and it does land. That will be securing a 4K3 win con for Valhalla's killer here. And we find Nova gonna pick her up. We find Feder. We know the location of all slug survivors. Pick up onto Feder. Gonna be taking this main hook here. As the hook does happen. And now gonna be going straight to Nexus position. Finding him. No bleedouts will be happening. And that will be the 4K at 3 generators. Archon's killer with a very, very difficult win con now. And we shall see how Archon's killer does play this out shortly. Hello everyone, welcome back to Grindhouse Massacre, where we have more Bing Bong on the Dead Dog Saloon. We have a difficult win con for Archon's killer here at a 4K at 4 generators, as Vobo, Valhalla's Wraith, did a nice 4K3. Pizza doing some nice demolition work around the saloon here, and gonna be finding Svexy here. Gonna be leaving the chase, however. Oh no, as a matter of fact, Vexy had held W, gonna be dropping this pallet. And we do see, as a matter of fact, that we have Windstorm instead of Shadow Dance. Going to be trading that breaking speed in Cloak for some extra movement speed, speeding across the map here. Pizza going to be patrolling some generators. We find Ada here, RHL, and going to be going straight for this chase in the cactus field, as we do hear Ruin does get cleansed. Pallet will get immediately dropped and broken as we cloak and go and try to body block here, but it does not work, unfortunately. And that will be another instant drop and break. Pizza once more leaving this chase and gonna be going for another survivor. Gonna be looking for someone over here at this water tower area, and we do not see anyone at this current moment. No gen progress. We do hear gen progress on this, however, as we do find Vexy once more, and you're going to be swinging through the vault, and it does hit. More Bing Bong, chase being taken to main, this time with no bamboozle, however. Main will be a difficult place to chase, as we do see 2 generators immediately popping. That is main and the gallows, I believe. Dunder and RHL trying to get that pallet save, but unfortunately does not happen. Vexy just died a little bit too far, unfortunately. But with 3 generators, this will be a guaranteed at least tie. Unhook onto Vexy does happen by RHL, and one of the hits of all time does happen onto RHL instead of Vexy here. Still trying to body block though, and knows that his endurance is going to run out. Pallet stun on the Shack pallet. Blind does happen. Gonna be cloaking right back up and leaving this chase with RHL. Water Tower pallet immediately being dropped by Romano here. Gonna be trying to mind game it with the uncloak, but instead just simply breaks it. And gonna be trying to body block Romano. Going for the vault. And the double vault does happen. Pizza attempting a swing, but let go a little bit early. Cloaking does happen. And going to be leaving this chase again. We see a full reset happen onto Vexy and RHL. And chase onto RHL will be happening once more. Vault comes through on the edge side of the map here. And RHL gonna be beautifully holding W, doing a beautiful job in that chase. And we're going to be leaving this chase for Romano as we do see RHL get right back on that water tower generator. And be immediately leaving that chase right after the tag. RHL doing some nice body block work. And Pizza unable to get that body block onto RHL. Still able to get that vault, but the hit through the vault does still happen. And he's cloaking right back up, leaving RHL injured and going right to this corner of the map here. No pallet on this side of the building, so that will be a tag onto Dunder and taking it right to main building. Romano does get reset, and Pizza was debating on committing that chase, but instead said no. RHL caught in a dead zone here. Vexy going for the body block, and does happen successfully. Cloak happens, and will be continuing to chase RHL right at Shack. With the Shack wall broken, RHL is able to do some nice things there, and going to be leaving for the final healthy survivor, Romano, at this filler here. Going to be mind gaming, forcing some form of 50-50, and it looks like that 50-50 does happen, as another tag does happen, right as Dunder does get reset. Going to be kicking this water tower generator, making it regress, as Ruin is unable to do its thing now. And we do find the reset right on this pallet here, right by Gallows. Does not get the hit through the pallet. Vexy also gets reset now. Pallet will be broken, and RHL with not that many resources to go to, but we still do make one over here right by Shack. Gonna be cloaking and leaving this chase. Gonna be going right to this corner generator here. Kicking it. No one was working it. Pizza is feeling the pressure to try and not lose this set. We find Dunder now as a third generator does pop in the distance, securing that win con for Valhalla now. With Chase at the main building, Dunder going to be doing some nice vaulting, and we'll be taking this chase right towards this corner filler here. Going to be swinging right through, no double backs, but Dunder reads it perfectly. Going to be breaking this pallet, and now Dunder just has to go to the corner of the map and take it down. That will also be no surge value. And the flashlight save does come through by RHL as well. Telling Pizza, always look at a wall no matter what. And now going to be body blocking for Dunder as well. Doing a really good job. But now Pizza going to be able to slip past. Falling onto the table. And we see RHL trying to go for another flashlight save. No angle, however, as the angle between those elevations was just a little too tight. RHL trying to go for an instant pull, but Pizza does read it. Gonna be committing this chase onto RHL now. Gonna be forcing an uncloak to eventually happen. Going through this tile here as the unhook onto Dunder does happen. A fourth generator does pop in the distance over there. Pallet Sun and Break does happen as well. We hear the Sloppy Butcher happening onto RHL. Romano doing a really good job with these body blocks. Valhalla in general having amazing body blocks, taking hits for the team as RHL and Vexy are spotted at the main building. Going to be finding Romano now. And he's stuck at this vault. Going to be trying to hold W, get into Pizza's head. But now nothing can be made. Vexy had an attempt of a body block. Unfortunately, does not work. And now Vexy will be forced to take a hit as well, as that fake does not work out for him. Pizza going to be going for the pickup on Romano now, with a potential pain resonance happening. That will be a pain resonance on a generator somewhere in the distance. And not the best split for Pizza here. We see very high progress on this Gallows generator. Would have been popped if it weren't for pain res. And now we do see all 4 survivors are injured. Trying to swing through that vault, expecting RHL to vault that pallet. But that now will be down, and Surge getting value as we do see a separate generator does pop. Gonna be slugging RHL instead now, and with no resources, Dunder will just simply be taking it down now. Gonna be cloaking back up, going towards RHL's position, trying to get a decent result. RHL does get picked up by Romano, will be able to vault the shack window. Pizza unable to get there in time to body block, trying to get that dirty little swing through the shack window, expecting RHL to be hugging that loop tight. Cloak does happen, trying to catch up to RHL faster, but perfect body blocking. And Pizza trying to mind game in Cloak. Reset does happen onto Vexy while Dunder is still on the ground, likely crawling towards the open exit gate at the bottom side of the map. Able to get past Romano. And RHL playing to force Romano to take a hit. RHL running right back towards Shack as we see the pickup onto Dunder. We could see a potential hatch play happening as we as a matter of fact see resets come through onto Vexy and Dunder here. But that will be the down onto RHL, having the chase of their life. And now we will be making basement. We see Dunder trying to body block. Vexy already in the shack, giving Dunder enough time to body block that basement. Do we make the basement? We don't make the basement, as a matter of fact. RHL able to wiggle out. Gonna be cloaking right back up, trying to catch up. And Dunder gonna be trying to body block here, as Dunder is worth less stages than RHL. Dunder trying to sneak in right in between Wraith's swing and RHL, but unfortunately does not happen. Reset onto Romano does happen. And a For the People play, as Romano does it for the people. Gonna be still going for RHL here, as RHL is the worth the most stages, the only fresh survivor. That timer is ticking down. We have 20 seconds left of this trial. Gonna be trying to body block RHL some more. Vexy able to get past heel teching. And now Pizza patiently waiting. Sloppy Butcher making this pickup a little bit slower. And everyone will be escaping. That is an incredible win con for Valhalla of very fun match, entertaining like anything else. We will see you with the next set between these two teams shortly. Welcome back to the Grindhouse Massacre with our favorite speedster on the Blood Lodge, already finding a survivor. I am your caster Nugs here, and Gambler is on the Blight with uh, no win con set yet, as this is our first match of the set. Going to be going for a nice flick. Unfortunately, misses as we waited too long for Vexy here. Pallet going to be dropping immediately, but with the power of Brutal Strength, it will be going to be getting our power back quite fast and going to be able to go right back into this chase. Vexy trying to get that beamer going strong as this chase gets brought to Shack and Gambler immediately leaving. We see a missed skill check on this hill generator, however, and that will be Dunder being found. Gonna be getting hit through the balanced landing as we run right into this corrupt generator area here. Seawall gonna be instantly dropped and broken by the power of Brutal Strength. Just gonna be walking Dunder down, as a matter of fact, and that will be a down happening at 5 generators remaining. With no pain resonance, as it is Blight, we're just going to be taking a nice hook here in the corner of the map. I'm going to be activating Pop Goes the Weasel as we see Romano on the hill, just casually vibing. Generator pops in the distance, and the unhook does happen onto Dunder. Going to be trying to wait out that borrowed time, but we do make a pallet. Going to be fatiguing that rush, and still going straight for Dunder here. It looked like an attempt at the Dead Hard, given that there was no down animation. Unfortunately, that Dead Hard did not come through, and we do see a survivor going right to that hill gen as a Call of Brian proc does happen, giving Gambiter that info, but by the power of doubling that generator, cannot make it in time. Gambiter looking for Romano, as we do know he was in the area. And there he is, going to be a quick tag onto Romano, going for a trade, as a matter of fact. And the reset onto Vexy does happen. We see Romano with the med kit. So that was RHL resetting Vexy. It looks like we will be breaking this main building wall here. Taking the main generator with Pop and activating Call of Brine. We did see scratch marks within the area and a missed skill check in the distance. Very far bump back. And that will be the chase onto Dunder coming through, as deliverance does happen with Romano's unhook. Dunder just trying to play for his life now, as he has been the designated tunnel out and is on death hook. Trying to play for a pallet stun, but unfortunately does not happen. Dunder now out of resources, just stuck with this long wall tile to play, but will not make... Oh! Dunder with an excellent body block, forcing Gambiter to slide off and missing that wall. Now Dunder able to make excellent distance, as we see Call of Brian procs onto the main generator. There is someone working that. The Palace Sun does happen this time. Over at 11 here. Gonna be still going for Dunder here. Swing and a miss. Dunder doing an amazing job with this chase, lasting as long as possible. Chase right back to buses and able to make that vault onto the pallet. Now just stuck with this window to play with. And that will not be a down, as a matter of fact, as another generator pops in the distance. Swing and a miss does happen, and Dunder will now finally be going down. We'll be taking this hook in the corner of the map. We see no progress on this generator. Shack generator, as a matter of fact, though, does have progress and does get powered for all 5 generators to be completed. Now going to be going for Vexy. The main target Gambiter wants to avoid here is Romano. He is worth the least amount of stages, but Gate prepped at buses already. Vexy and RHL out. Romano likely waiting at hatch. We do see him, and that will be a 4-stage game on the Blight here. That will be a nice win con for Valhalla's killer, and we shall see how they play just shortly now. Welcome back to Speedster Blood Lodge gameplay. We are on match 2 of the second set between Valhalla and Archon, where Dunder needs to get 5 stages to take the win for Valhalla here. We find a chase onto Nova here at this car filler, but we are going to be leaving as we find another survivor, which is Gambiter, trying to rotate away from these corrupted generators. And now Chase is being brought right to Shack. We see the Shack pallet does get dropped. Rush charges are back, and this looks like a potential tag. We do make this pallet over on the jungle gym, however. Gonna be trying to rush through. Pallet does break, will not get the tag in time, unfortunately. Chase able to be brought right back to Shack, however, trying to bump past this generator, but does, as a matter of fact, work out just in the nick of time. That final rush coming in clutch. Chase still being in this corrupt area, letting these other survivors get some gen progress, as a nice flare does happen by Gambiter. I'm gonna be holding W, and likely gonna be dying in the corner of the map here, as we see a generator pop in the distance, looking like the main building generator, which is pretty important in the Blood Lodge here, as that is usually the center of every 3-gen provided on this map. We see Dunder rushing around the main building, looking for some survivors in the distance. We see a second generator pop over in the corner of the map. No one around this area, however. We're gonna be making our way back towards the hook, as the unhook does happen onto Gambiter now. We have our rush charges back, thinking a reset on the hook is happening, but it is not. Next, not going for a body block, and Gambiter unable to make this pallet in time due to the powerful combo of Shredded Notes and the Blighted Crow. There'll be the second stage onto Gambiter, and we now know the rough position of Nex. Going to be looking for him here, as we did see him rotate towards Shack. Ruin activated on the Shack generator, and Pizza with a nice crouch tech as well. Dunder looking towards Shack, expecting Nex to once more have this unhook. We see loud noise notification on that vault. We see Gambiter swing through the pallet, but pallet stun does happen. And now it's up to Gambiter with his last chase as the tunnel out. Dunder has selected a third generator does pop in the distance, but with no life on that vault, Gambiter will be going down and will be out of the game. Hook happens, and we are going right towards the Shack here, as a fourth generator does pop, as a matter of fact. And Ruin's still active on the Shack generator, doing its thing. We have a very rough 3-gen for Dunder here, as all gens are in separate corners of the map, not able to make it to this car in time. And we do find Nex, who, given how aggressive they have played for these pulls, might be our Deli player. gonna be going down, not able to fall off the ramp in time. And we'll be taking this top mid hook here. Next with doing a good job keeping Chase away from these generators. And now Dunder gonna be rushing straight to Shack. We see Ruin active on the Shack generator. And we find Pizza. We are at the tie condition right now, as a matter of fact. Pizza gonna be taking a hit, running through Shack, trying to take it away from these generators. Dunder expecting Pizza to come back to go for the stun, but Pizza did play it beautifully. That will be the down onto Pizza as Nex does use his Deliverance. Pickup onto Pizza does happen, and we will be taking this hook right by Shack. That will be officially the win for Valhalla. Going to be taking a 2-0 victory over Archon with the set now. Dunder going to be going over to this 4 generator as we do see progress on it. And Pizza immediately getting pulled and reset by Nex. Nova going to be taking this chase to main. Dunder, professional slider with a nice tag onto Nova. Expecting a survivor to be on this gen now. We do see Pizza. And we'll be breaking this pallet with his final rush. Vault happens onto this long wall jungle gym. And Pizza unable to see Dunder as he did point his head down, doing an excellent mind game there, going right back to Shack as everyone is now injured. We do find Nex activating Sprint Burst to try and get away from Shack, hoping for more progress to be able to be had. And now rushes will be coming back, heading right back to this other generator here, as we do see Pizza, and Pizza will be going down. Dunder suspecting another survivor perchance, heading right back towards Shack, as we do hear high progress. Scratch marks heading away from Shack. And that will be Nex being found now. Pickup onto Pizza does happen, trying to force a 50-50 with this pallet, but it is just simply too strong. Dunder's gonna have to break it and leave to prevent this generator from being completed. We hear Pizza's groans of pain, going for a dead hard by the looks of that animation, but this hit does not land. Gonna be playing this pallet here. Very deadly against Blight. And that will be Pizza going down. Dunder doing his good old back and forth, right back to Shack. And we do see Nex. That will be the 5th rush used and fatigued. Now currently just an M1 chase. As our 5th rush token does come back, Pizza does get picked up in the distance. Going to be back on that generator with Nova. And Nex going into the basement to force a down. And the last gen will likely pop because of this. Hook happens onto Nex. We see a white aura indicating camaraderie instantly being active as that 5th generator does, as a matter of fact, pop. And now it is just between these gates. We do see a survivor that is Nova at Shack, going to be running towards the gate, trying to flare Dunder here, but unfortunately does not happen. Going to be rushing all the way to this other exit gate here. We do see that it does have progress, but not ready to be opened yet. And we do see the scratch marks of Pizza now. Nova with Unbreakable, going to be picking himself up and rescuing Nex off of the basement hook, as we see there, with this chase being in the opposite corner of the map, Dunder will just simply pick up Pizza and take him to a hook in between these gates. That hook coming through, that will be the second stage. Dunder expecting a rotation, a long rotation, to get to this other gate. We do see that this shack gate does have progress, just hitting 75. Those alarms going off, indicating that it is ready. Pizza going to be getting rescued by Nex, and Nova forcing Locker in the basement. That will be giving Nex and Pizza just enough time to be opening the gate as a reset comes through. Perhaps might be going for a rescue. We shall see if they just leave in the next 5 or so seconds. And given that they haven't, it looks like they might be trying to save Nova off this hook to get a potential 3-man escape. We spot one survivor on the 3 side of the map, that is Pizza. Going to be trying to take a tag, but with Nex nowhere in sight, Dunder does see this as a free tag and able to just simply get this for free. Will not be hitting Nex in time, however, and the pull onto Nova will be happening. Pizza likely preparing that shack gate to be ready as an optional escape route. A swing and a miss for Nova. Nova and Pizza have escaped. And Nex will be getting that hatch. An excellent play by Archon survivors, but that is the 2-0 victory for Valhalla. That is all we have for this matchup. But we do have a matchup later tonight that you guys will not want to miss. We will see you then.